to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for consistently joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mataji, and thank you for your services. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Masa. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to all the assembled devotees here, Mataji. Thank you so much for always joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, and all glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas College Station.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Mata, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, and all glories to your wonderful chanting as the devotees keep saying, Mataji. Thank you very much for your wonderful services, Mataji. Welcome.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Ghana.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mataji. Please keep joining. Hare Krishna.
Nina Mataji, and but pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Mata, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you very much for always joining this call, Mataji. It's a wonderful association. Thank you. Welcome, Mata.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. This is Aditi Devidasi from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances at Shailaja Sweet Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all our Guru Maharajas, and all glories to your wonderful services and your association, Mataji. Thank you very much for gracing Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mata. Please keep joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I'm Ilenia. I called to Italy. It's the first time for me. And scusa, come si dice? Sorry for my English.
No.
I speak very little English. Sorry.
No, Mataji, it's so wonderful to see you. How did you hear about Bhakti Sangha? How did you hear about Bhakti Sangha? From friends or some devotees?
Yeah, I meet Guru Maharaj 1 year ago, and I have my time to realization. He is my Guru Maharaj, and now I decided to partecipare to,
yes.
Okay, to the Sangha, to the meeting.
Yes, Mataji, bellissimo. Very nice. You're wonderful English, Mata. You're so blessed. You're so blessed to get Guru Maharaj's association, Mataji. It's so wonderful to have you. So you're Ilenia, Mataji. And where in Italy are you? Which part?
In the north of Italy. Near Milan.
Okay, yeah. Near Milan. Awesome. Wonderful, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to your wonderful association. I am positive you will love it here. There are wonderful devotees here. Devotees.
Haribol. Step 3, Haribol.
Mataji, by welcome by saying 3 times Haribol. Hari
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
Welcome, Mataji. Welcome. We are very happy to see you here. Please keep joining every day. There are wonderful speakers that speak at the same time. I'm sure that you will like it. Hare Krishna, Mata.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Mata, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you very much for consistently joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mataji. Welcome.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all Guru Maharajas, all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Shiromani Nandarani Devidasi, Qatar. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna,
much.
Mata. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all our Guru Maharajas, Mataji. And all glories to your consistent joining here, Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call every day, regularly, Mataji. Thank you very much. Please keep joining, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I offer my obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Ayan from West Bengal.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. It's the devotees that join from all across the globe that makes this association so wonderful and diverse. Prabhuji, please keep joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. My humble obeisances to you and to the all assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. This is Pooja Arora from Haridwar.
Hare Krishna, Puja Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Mata, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for always joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mata. Please keep joining.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mata.
Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for your services, Mataji, and thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Indu Mataji, for your
Mataji, both the devices froze.
welcome to the call, Mataji. Thank you, Indu Mataji, for your service.
Thank you so much, Vinita Mataji. Shall we start recording? Is that okay? Tiffany Mataji?
Maharaj is
Thank you
not
for
here.
joining every day Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. And thank you.
Oh, okay, she's back.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, both of your devices froze.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been having some computer problems. Today we will go ahead and proceed to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam study. But since His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj is not yet joined, we maybe request Tiffany Mataji to kindly go ahead and introduce His Holiness. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories, all glories, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today, we are so very fortunate to have with us His Holiness Candramauli Swami, who we all love so very much. He's so dear to all of us. And Maharaj is a disciple of ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. And Maharaj is also an initiating spiritual master within the ISKCON movement. Maharaj was born in New Jersey in 1947 and came in contact with the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in Denver, Colorado at the age of 24. In 1973, he began practicing Krishna consciousness in New York City, and shortly thereafter began serving at the New Vrindavan Farm Community in West Virginia. That same year, he received initiation from Srila Prabhupada, and in 1986, His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj accepted the sannyas order and began preaching in Cincinnati and Columbus, Ohio. In 1995, he began serving as a resident sannyasi in Chicago, where he was based until 2013, when he relocated to Karlovac, Croatia. At present, Maharaj offers spiritual guidance around Europe, as we learned today, in the USA and in India. Hare Krishna, so happy to have Maharaj on the call. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Has Maharaj joined? I don't see him.
Not yet, Mataji.
Not yet, yeah, yes.
Maybe
Devotees, if you would like to go ahead and announce your name, please do. I would like to keep welcoming you, and we are just waiting for His Holiness to join.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, Dandot Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Lalitangi Radha Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Lalitangi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mata. Please keep joining.
US Mataji, Hari Bol.
What, Mata?
Thank you,
Mataji
Mataji.
was in Canada for some time. So she came back to US. So I'm saying welcome back to US. Mataji.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, Mataji. Yes, yes. Indeed.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. This Bhakti Sangha is keeping us spiritually alive wherever we go. Thanks to you for all the association.
Anybody else that would like to announce their name?
Maharaj is joined, Mataji.
Okay. For some reason I'm having Hare Krishna, devotees. We will go ahead and proceed to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam study. Today we are going to study from Canto number 6, chapter number 4, verse number 33. And His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj will continue to enlighten us on this. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all our Guru Maharajas. Whenever you're ready, Maharaj, you may take the call over. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yona Grihartam Bhajatam Padam Mulam. Anama Rupo Bhagavan Anantaha. Namami Rupani Cha Janma Karma Bir. Beje Samayam Paramam Prasidatav Datu. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is inconceivably opulent, who is devoid of all material names, forms, and pastimes, who is all-pervading, is especially merciful to his devotees who worship his lotus feet. Thus, he exhibits transcendental forms and names with his different pastimes. May that Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is plain as eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, be merciful to me. Purport. In this regard, in regard to the significant word Anama Rupa, Srila Swami says, Prakita Nama Rupa Rahito Pi. The word Anama, which means having no name, indicates that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has no material name. Simply by chanting the name of Narayan to call his son, Ajamil attains salvation. This means that Narayan is not an ordinary mundane name, it is non-material. The word Anama therefore indicates that the names of the Supreme Lord do not belong to this material world. The vibration of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not a material sound, and similarly the form of the Lord and his appearance and activities are all non-material. To show his causeless mercy to his devotees, as well as to the non-devotees, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in this material world with names, forms, and pastimes, all of which are transcendental. Unintelligent men who cannot understand this think that these names, forms, and pastimes are material, and therefore they deny he has a name or a form. Considered with scrutiny, the conclusion of the non-devotees who say that God has no name, and that of devotees who know that his name is not material, are practically the same. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no material name, form, birth, appearance, or disappearance. But nevertheless, he takes birth as Janma. He takes his birth, Janma, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Ajopishan avyatmam bhutanam vishvayapisam prakriti swam vadishtayam sambhavami atmamayaya. Although the Lord is unborn, Aja, and his body never undergoes material changing, he nevertheless appears as an incarnation, maintaining himself always in the transcendental states, Sudasattva. Thus he exhibits his transcendental forms, names, and activities. That is a special mercy towards his devotees. Others may continue merely arguing about whether the absolute truth has form or not. When the devotee, by the grace of the Lord, sees the Lord personally, he becomes spiritually ecstatic. Unintelligent persons say that the Lord does nothing. Actually, he has nothing to do. But nevertheless, he has to do everything, because without his sanction, no one can do anything. The unintelligent, however, cannot see how he is working and how the entire material nature is working under his direction. His different potencies work perfectly. Natasya karyam karanam vidhyate, natasya samachara drishyate, parasya shakti vidahaya suryate, swabhaviki jnana bala kriya cha. As from the Sweta Swatara Upanishad 6.8. He has nothing to do personally, for since his potencies are perfectly, everything is immediately done by his will. Persons to whom the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not revealed cannot see how he is working. And therefore they think that even if there is God, he has nothing to do or has no particular name. Actually, the Lord's name already exists because of his transcendental activities. The Lord is sometimes called Guna Karma Nama, because he is named according to his transcendental activities. For example, Krishna means all attractive. This is the Lord's name because his transcendental qualities make him very attractive. As a small boy, he lifted Govardhan Hill. In his childhood, he killed many demons. Such activities are very attractive, and therefore he is sometimes called Giridhari, Madhusudan, Anga Nisudana, and so on. Because he acted as the son of Maharaj Nanda, he is called Nanda Tanuja. These names already exist, but since non-devotees can not understand the names of the Lord, he is sometimes called Anama, or nameless. This means that he has no material names. All his activities are spiritual, and therefore he has spiritual names. This is a very important part of this. Because all his activities are spiritual, therefore he has spiritual names. Generally, less intelligent men are under the impression that the Lord has no form. Therefore, he appears in the original form as Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, to carry out his mission of participating in the battle of Kurukshetra and pastimes to protect his devotee and vanquish the demons. Paritranayan, Sadhunan, Vinasanaya, Chaduskatam. This is his mercy. For those who think that he has no form and no work to do, Krishna comes to show that indeed he works. He works so gloriously that no one else can perform such uncommon acts. Although he appears as a human being, he married 16,108 wives, which is impossible for a human being to do. The Lord performs such activities to show people how great he is, how affectionate he is, and how merciful he is. Although his original name is Krishna, Krishna is tu Bhagavan Swayam. He acts in unlimited ways, and therefore, according to his work, he has many, many thousands of names. Magyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshunmilutam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapikam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swam Padatikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhuke Vachapatitanam Pavane Yo Vaishnave Yo Namahi Namaha Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimad Bhagavatam Swami Maharaj Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvise Sasunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasani Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Namamakari Bahudani Jasarva Shaktis Tatarpitani Amita Smaranena Kalaha Eta Dasri Tavakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Doradaiva Mindri Samayajani Nanuragaha. My dear Lord, you have hundreds and millions of names, like Krishna and Govinda, etc. In these transcendental names, you have invested all of your transcendental energy, and there are no hard and fast rules for chanting these names. But I am so unfortunate, although everything is there, I have no taste for chanting names. So the word Anama, and then there's another one called Nirguna. Nirguna means without form. Anama means without name. So when the impersonalists and the materialists read that, they think, no, God has no name. He has no form. But it requires some understanding from people who know, or the acharyas, who say, yes, this word nirguna and anama means he has nothing material, but he has unlimited forms, he has unlimited names, he has unlimited pastimes, he has unlimited qualities. Because he is unlimited, everything about him is unlimited. But his principal names are Krishna, Govinda, Gopi Janavalabhaya, Gopinath, Shamsundar. These are the principal names that we chant, especially in the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So devotees have a theoretical understanding of this, but they don't understand this deep enough, whereas it's proven by the pastime of Ajamil when he was overcome with the messengers of death. He saw them coming to take him away, very horrible looking creatures. They exist, don't think they don't exist, because there have been many accounts, even in our ISKCON society, of people who have seen these personalities. Not necessarily devotees, but people who are connected with devotees and have made this known, that they come to take the sinful living entity away and bring him to Yamaraj, and so he can give them their due punishment and then give them their next body, and then they start where they left off. Actually, they start in a better position because the punishment gets rid of a lot of the karma that they... So to suffer is good because it kind of like purifies your attachments to the material body if you accept it in that way. That suffering is good, and it's also a message that this is what the material world is like. It's a place for suffering. Therefore, the devotee knows that the only way to get free from their suffering is to glorify the Lord and chant his holy names, hear about his transcendental pastimes. His pastimes are also indications of his different names. For instance, he is called Vrindavan Bihari because he roams around Vrindavan. And so he's called, let's see, the Gopi Janavalabha. He gives pleasure to the gopis. So these names are also indicated of his particular activities in relationship to his pure devotees. So, and as it says here, Krishna is very, very kind and merciful. He appears in this world just to show, he doesn't have to come in this world. He has no business to be in this world. Everything is in the spiritual world. There's no need to him, and he can also direct the activities in this material world from the spiritual world. He's all powerful. He doesn't have to come here to do things, but he comes here in order to give pleasure to his devotees. This is his mercy, this is his kindness, this is his compassion. And when the devotees see the Lord in his merciful form as he appears in this world, their hearts become charmed and their attachment to Krishna increases more and more and more. So he does come for the benefit of his devotees. And sometimes when the demons get too powerful, then he also comes to remove that. That is the Krishna book. If you read Krishna book or Srimad Bhagavatam, the beginning of the 10th canto, he came in order to reset the world back into its proper spiritual mood. So he came, killed Kamsa and all of Kamsa's cohorts, Agasura, Bakasura, Keshi, Aristasura, all of these asuras. He came to rid the world of these demons who were giving so much trouble to the devotees. But he doesn't have to do that to come to the material world. He can do it just by sending a material calamity. He can create an earthquake and all the demons go into the hole and they're finished. So he doesn't have to do all that, but he comes in order to show his compassion and mercy to the devotee. So he came 5,000 years ago, and we read about that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the activities he performed, which becomes the cynosure of the devotee's happiness. We hear how Krishna interacted with his devotees. It says he had 16,108 wives. Who can have 16,108 wives? Sometimes other religious groups challenge, this is your God? He has so many wives, he must be licentious. And or maybe it's just some hyperbole, some exaggeration. So one time, one Christian group, they brought us to court in the United States, claiming that we are worshiping a God that has 16,000 wives, and he's a cowherd boy who plays with cows. So they wanted to make a statement that what we are worshiping is some kind of imagination. So in that court case, we had a very good lawyer. And so at one point, our lawyer asked the judge, can I ask a question? There were Christian nuns in the courtroom also. Can I ask the question to the Christian nuns? And the judge gave permission. And the judge said, the lawyer said, isn't it true that when you take your vow of nunnery, you agree to be the bride of Christ? And everybody was frozen. Nobody could say anything. They couldn't lie because it was true. And then the judge got the point. Case dismissed. So God can have 16 million wives. The sake of 16,000, that's just a small number. So yeah, because he's God. But Prabhupada said, you can't do that. You can't even maintain one wife. it's the age of Kali, and nobody can even maintain one wife. So what to speak of 16,108, which Krishna created palaces for each one of them. They were as big as the spiritual world. Some of these palaces were as big as the spiritual planets. So probably Krishna is all powerful. And he can do anything, and he loves his devotees. And therefore, he does all of his activities simply to attract his devotees to come back to him in loving devotional service. That's his whole program. He sends his name, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and other names. He sends his pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. He sends the revealed scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. He sends prasadam, which is transcendental foodstuffs that uplift the consciousness and give transcendental happiness. He comes in the form of his deity, worshipped by his devotee. So he takes so much, you might say, trouble, that's a quote-unquote word, in order to somehow or other wake us up from our slumber, thinking that our body, this material world, is important. And what's actually important is our relationship with Krishna. So whatever time we have left, that is considered to be valuable. Whatever time we have left in this material world, we should use that time to upgrade, you might use that word, upgrade our relationship with Krishna. And he is, and if the devotees don't get it with all of these mercy manifestations that he sends, then he gives them a little slap, little difficulties here and there, just to tell them, hey, you are making the mistake, you're going the other way. So the slap is really small, but if we don't wake up, then the slaps get a little harder. So yeah. So this is Krishna. He's very merciful, and he's always thinking about his devotees. He's called Bhaktavatsal. He loves his devotees. He's worshipped by his devotees. He worships his devotees in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He worshipped his devotees. He actually, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, after he took an initiation from Ishwara Puri in Gaya, he returned to Navadvip. And what is the first thing he did? He started serving his devotees by bringing their prasadam, by washing their clothes, by folding their clothes and returning to them, by making sure that everything that they needed was available. He did it personally. He didn't ask someone else to do it because he likes to serve his devotees. He enjoys that. So, but the devotees want to serve Krishna. So Prabhupada said, Krishna wants to serve his devotees and the devotees want to serve Krishna. And there's a competition, who can serve the best? And Krishna always wins. We can't give him anything compared to what he gives us. We've come to this material world to be separate from him, to enjoy the sense objects, and to somehow or other find happiness in this material energy. But he pushes all that aside just to show his mercy and tries to remind us where we can find real happiness. So it's incumbent upon the devotees to take sufficient amount of time to hear and chant the glories of the Lord, especially the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if you go through the scriptures, and you'll see how he serves his devotee, how he makes arrangements for his devotees to come back to him. That's his main service. Although he appears and does his pastimes, these pastimes are meant to attract conditioned souls and the devotees into loving devotional service to him. And if somebody gets attracted to Krishna, and that attraction increases and they become attached to Krishna, then their devotional service is, we say, successful. It's just a matter of time before they develop love of God. So hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, as he says here, he has unlimited names, unlimited forms, unlimited qualities, unlimited pastimes. Everything about him is unlimited. And everything about him is Rasavaisa. Rasavaisa means loaded with transcendental sweetness. That's Krishna. He's sweet. And he is very attractive. And we just have to turn our face to him and just get it. Stop looking towards the material energy to try to adjust the material energy and make it better. You can't make it better. It's not possible because it works under his direction. You may make a little adjustment here and there, but don't waste time with that activity. Simply hear and chant the glories of the Lord. And the association of devotees, Satam Prasangam Mamavirya Sambidom Bhavanti Ritkarna Rasayana Kata. Rasayana Kata means that it's so sweet that it gives nectar to the ear and to the heart. This is Krishna. And if we haven't tasted that yet, then you have a way to go because it's available. Okay, I'll stop here and can open it up for questions. But before I am ready, do one. So I will be right back. And so we'll start with Radhe Govinda when I get back. And I need about 4 minutes.
Devotees, you may turn on your videos because Maharaj would enjoy looking at you and answering your questions. Oh, no. Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Indulekha Mataji has a wonderful proposal, and she's requesting if any devotee would be keen in leading a short kirtan.
Can I do a kirtan?
Yes, Prabhu. Go ahead.
Yes.
Once Maharaj is back, we will hand over the mic to him. Oh, Maharaj.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Haribol Maharaj.
Yadavaya Madhavaya. Maharaj come?
No, I think so. I think he was waving. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Oh, I think he's asking us to do the kirtan. Yes, let's go ahead, Prabhu.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Srimad Sudhan Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Echai Goshai Kori Charana Bandhan Jaha hoite Bigna Nash Abhishta Puran Echai Goshai Jar Mohitaro Das Tasabar Padarenu Mora Panchagras Tarine Charana Sebi Bhakta Sanibas Janam Janame Hoi Ei Abhilas Echai Goshai Jabe Brije Koilo Bas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Parilo Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhajo Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Amod Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Padma Koriyas Nama Sankirtana Koge Narottamo Das Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Candramauli Maharaj Jaya Candramauli Maharaj Jaya Candramauli Maharaj Jaya Candramauli Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. His Soulness Candramauli Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you so much. Very great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. My throat is not well. I was in Jagannath Puri and Mayapur. I took bath in Rajakund Champanagar and I got throat gone. Sorry. I couldn't sing properly.
No, it's okay, Prabhuji. You sang wonderfully. It's the thought that counts. Ilyana Mataji, thank you for your wonderful words. Mataji is writing to all of us. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I don't speak good English, but I'm working hard to understand you. Maharaj, Mataji, thank you so much for your effort. It's your effort that counts. Everything will fall into place. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your lotus feet, Maharaj. Thank you for your wonderful, wonderful class. It's always so simple and easy to understand, Maharaj. Please bless us so that we all can apply those into actual actions. I would like to go ahead and request Radhe Govind Prabhu to unmute himself and pose your question to Maharaj.
Radhe Govinda.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj ji, Dandavat pranams to you. Thank you, Maharaji, for such wonderful explanation. Maharaji, I wanted to ask you that do we have do we have names in the spiritual world? Do we also have names like if we go to Golok, Vrindavan, then do we have names over there?
You have a name, you have a form, you have a reference, you have a particular type of dress, you have a particular type of body, you have a particular type of body color, you have a particular service. There's 11 indications of your identity in the spiritual world. I just named the ones I could remember. So yeah, you think the spiritual world is devoid of all of this stuff? We got all of this stuff in this world, and the spiritual world is just nothing. What is it? The spiritual world is the reality. It's simply a reflection of the reality. Although we try to copy the reality, it has no substance here. So whatever we do in this world usually leads to our defeat ultimately. So yeah, everything we have in this world, except sinful activities, is there in the spiritual world in full. It's Ananda Chinmaya Ras. It is fully spiritual and fully joyful.
Maharaji, so how we get names? I know about the form, like we get forms. We have form and colors. So name is given by Krishna himself. Sorry for the silly question, Maharaji.
You have your name already. You have to realize your name is already there.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Maharaji. Can I ask you one more question, Maharaji?
Before you ask,
Maharaji, why is Krishna's favorite month is winter?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Maharaj wants to talk to you something. Can you just, yeah.
Listen, you want to talk before you listen. Listen.
Sorry, Maharaj.
The point is that, now I forgot what I was going to say. The point is that only when you reach a higher stage of bhakti, when you are on the transcendental platform engaged in spontaneous devotional service, can you begin to understand all of these identities about about the spiritual world, who you are, what is your relationship with Krishna, who is your group, who you hang out with, because there's groups there, just like there's groups here. So Prabhupada would always say that this world is a reflection of the reality, but in the reflection, there's no substance. And the reality is full of Ananda Chinmaya Ras. We're looking for happiness with friends, family members, and people in general, and various types of activities that we adopt, but we're always frustrated. We get some satisfaction, but then time changes it, or it doesn't give us what we like. We find ourselves doing things we have to do, not what we want to do. Right, Sri Devi? It's just like, this world is a place of punishment. When you get tired of the punishment, then, hey, then you can get serious about your relationship with Krishna. It's eternal. It's never lost. It's just covered by our material vision. And so work for that, and you can get it if you're serious. You have to be really serious.
Thank you, Maharaji. Thank you so much, Maharaji, for such a wonderful explanation, Maharaji. My next question is like, why is Krishna's favorite month winters, like Margshish? Why is Krishna's favorite month is Margshish? Like we have read in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's favorite month.
Say it's his favorite month. month that indicates him. His favorite month is Purushottam Mas, which comes up once in every 27 once in every 27 months. Higher than that, and not lower than that, is Kartik. You multiply Kartik 16 times in spiritual potency, you get Purushottam Mas. Purushottam Mas will come up at the beginning of next year. And you'll see all of the festivals, all of the days that we honor. There's nothing there. It's just a blank calendar. In that month, you perform austerities and make great spiritual progress. I could also give a class on that, since it's really powerful. So that's his favorite month, Purushottam Mas.
Okay, thank you so much, Maharaji. Thank you very much. Dandavat pranams, Prabhu Maharaji. I'm sorry if I have asked some silly question, Maharaji. Sorry.
I get all sorts of questions all the time, don't worry. But your question was not. Your question was good. It's actually indicating something that needed to be said. What needed to be said is to clarify what is actually Krishna's favorite month. He has his favorite food, he has his favorite girlfriend, he has his favorite place. He has a lot of favorites in different categories. He's a person.
Wonderful.
It was a good question.
Thank you, Maharaji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maharaji. Dandavat pranams, Maharaji.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you always. We have Ilinia. She has joined us from Italy, Maharaj. She has a question for you.
Buongiorno, buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
Her last name means good day in Italian. When you want to wish somebody a good day, you say buongiorno. It's a beautiful name. How you got that?
My name. Okay. I don't know if you remember me. 1 year ago, we met in Villa Vrindavana in Italy. And sorry for my English. I have...
You can parli italiano.
Tu mi capisci?
Poco.
Ok. Anch'io capisco voi poco e ci capiamo. Allora, io
Mezzo.
sono davvero felicissima, sono felice. I'm happy to see you because I have my time to realization. You are my Guru Maharaj. And I don't I don't know if I can be said, but I love you so much.
I also let's see. Amore.
Sì, ti voglio bene. In Italian, ti voglio bene.
Va bene.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for your love. I will take it into my heart and keep it there.
In this time, I have no question because non ho capito tutto quello che avete detto, ma impegno to improve my English for understand you and speak with other devotees. And in a few days arrive your book, and I read your book. And
which book? The Daily Drops?
yeah, and another book.
Holy Jail?
Yeah.
Oh, va bene.
Va bene. Hare Krishna.
My grandparents were from Torino and Naples.
Torino and Naples, i grandparents.
Yeah.
Oh.
My grandmother was living in Italy for many years.
Oh.
So Siciliana, Napoletana, Siciliana, Napoletana.
I know Rohini Nandana Das.
Rohini Nandana.
Rohini Nandana and Murari Chaitanya.
Oh, I will go visit Italy when I go to come back from India after, because we are setting up a program with Murari Chaitanya.
Yeah.
Or Kshatriya Dharma.
Kshatriya Dharma, yes.
Okay. So, molto gracias. Happy to meet you, Leishe.
Nice to meet you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Leela Mataji.
Sorry about the cultural deviation. For those of you who are not tuned to what we were saying. Sukara Krishnadas. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Hello, namaskar. As soon as I'm to notice feet, I can only speak Comment ça va, comment allez-vous, ça va bien, merci beaucoup, au revoir.
French.
That is French, but French, Italian, little different. So I don't know. I have to learn Italian.
Italian is molto gracia.
Maharaj, I got one question, Maharaj. Now, that Mataji was asking about the spiritual world. So when we go to spiritual world, we will be able to identify devotees from Japa Sangha, Tiffany Mataji has come, Vinita Mataji has come, Candramauli Maharaj. Can we meet Prabhupada?
Try to understand the principle of the spiritual world.
Yeah.
Spiritual world means all knowing. In this material world, to know something, you have to learn it. Most of the time, you forget it. In the spiritual world, whatever you want to know, it's available. Because you are completely sentient. You know everything, past, present, future. You know all your birth in the material world. You know your relationship with Krishna in the spiritual world. So all of these things, we have to understand that the spiritual world is Sat, Chit, Ananda. Chit means all knowledge, not just some knowledge, all knowledge. So when you understand that principle, then there's no need for such questions.
Maharaj, one question I want to ask is, see, in the material world, we know our father, mother, our son, daughter, wife, and our friends. Now we know you, we love each other, but in the spiritual world, we have studied in the book, and we are able to realize, but how to increase the love of Krishna, how we can love him like the way we love our son or daughter or friend or anybody, how we can have a one-to-one relation with Krishna from the material world.
How can we love Krishna like we love our family members? Is that the question?
No, I'm telling, if we are physically missing him, we are seeing the Bhagavatam, we really love him, we chant, but how we can have the taste of Krishna coming in our life, and we're able to talk to him, we're able to see him, we are seeing the dreams like that. How to increase the love of Krishna than anybody else in the world, only Krishna like that. How we can do it?
Talk to him. He's listening. But talk to him in the mood of humility and prayer. You can talk to Krishna, and he hears everything at all times and all places. He's in your heart. He's antarami. He's localized. He's in the spiritual world. He's in all parts of the creation at the same time. He's everywhere. Nothing escapes Krishna. But if you make a prayer, then Krishna will hear your prayer. And then he will reciprocate accordingly. That's Krishna.
Well, I am trying to talk to him through the songs. Jai Jai Jagannath Sachidanandan Tribhuvani Kore Jar Charana Bandhan. So I know like that I'm singing, he's listening, but I'm not able to see the reciprocation from him.
Yeah, the happiness is in the service. Don't you feel happy when you sing these songs?
Yes. I feel happy. And when you talk to me, I can see that Krishna is sending the mercy through Candramauli Maharaj. I can relate that way.
Well, there's so many people who can give you mercy.
Yeah.
Your Guru Maharaj, your God brothers and God sisters.
Yeah.
There's so much mercy available, and you just have to get it. When
So Bhakti Sangha, I'm getting so much mercy from all the devotees. They're wonderful devotees.
When Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada, give me your mercy. Prabhupada said, I'm getting it. Just take it. We're not taking it, and we think we're not getting it. Just take it. Where's the mercy found? Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sastri Hoy, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. That's the essence of the mercy. And then Satam Prasangam Mamavirya Samvido Bhavanti Rikarna Rasayana Kata. It's all there in association with devotees, hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. But we have
Maharaj, you are a pure devotee, disciple of Srila Prabhupada. In association, I'm talking to you. Sarvasiddhi, I'm expecting I'll get Krishna Prema.
Well, everything you said is good except the first part. I'm not a pure devotee, I'm a pure...
No, Maharaj, you're a pure devotee. Anyone Prabhupada disciple, they are pure devotees.
I'm purely making mistakes every minute. I make pure mistakes.
You are so humble, Maharaj.
No, what you see on television is not everything.
Maharaj, give your blessings to all of us, Maharaj. We need your mercy.
You want to know all about me, just talk to Shama Gauri. She'll tell you all the things I gave her when I stayed there.
Maharaj, at your lotus feet, my obeisance at your lotus feet, I want to just take the dust from your lotus feet and get the strength for doing more pure devotional service. That's nothing else, Maharaj.
You should associate with Shama Gauri and her husband, Abhiram Saka. Their son is amazing. If I had the bhakti.
It's all your mercy, Maharaj, because of it's reflecting on us, your mercy is reflecting on us, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
She's my mother also, Maharaj. Samagori mother, she's my mother.
Yeah. Gauri is Samagori. Samagori Nitya Kishori.
Jai.
What is that name?
Nitya Kishori Pritam Chori Shri Radhe.
Jai.
Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe. So if I had the enthusiasm you had and the bhakti that her son had, then I would be good.
No, nothing like that, Maharaj. Whatever you see, it's like, on top, the cream you see. You don't know what is on the bottom. But thank you so much for all your mercy, Maharaj. Thank you so much. We don't have any qualification, but because of mercy of the devotees like you, we are getting these services. Today, I just wanted to share one experience with you. Like few minutes ago, I was talking to my brother, and he is like 5 years older than me. And he was saying like he doesn't take Krishna consciousness at all. I was trying so much, but he did not take it. So he said, I am decaying day by day because of hard work. And so I said, we also work hard, but we work hard for Krishna. So we are not decaying. we are getting more and more strength to work hard because of we work for Krishna. Especially my husband,
He's when he puts his mind to something, watch out. You can't change it. He's good. He's always thinking of Krishna and how to expand Krishna consciousness.
We are not doing much, Maharaj, but we, try to give the facility, so devotees can preach and, we can grow Krishna consciousness more and more.
In the wintertime, external activities have a tendency to decrease. So now you can increase your daily programs, invite people over to your home. She has beautiful, beautiful, full-size Jagannath movies. The same you find in temples. Huge. I mean, they're big. So she has a smaller set. So Jagannath is Jagannath's ashram.
And we had Ratha Yatra yesterday, Maharaj.
Oh,
very good.
Yeah, we went in a parade, the Thanksgiving parade.
Thanksgiving parade. Okay. Yeah, we give thanks to Krishna.
Yes.
Yes. So today is right. Today is the parade, right?
Yes.
Today is that was supposed to be, but they changed it. They did on the previous day evening, and they started the parade when it became dark. So it was like a night parade. So we have to put full lights on Ratha. It was good, very different experience.
They want to enjoy sense gratification on Thursday, so they had it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
The reason.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah. You're supposed to hold it on the day. That gives it potency. If you hold it on the day, it gives it potency.
Yes.
And if you do it at night, the night before, people work on Wednesday. And they're tired if they want to come to a Rath Yatra after a full day's work.
Yeah, but a lot of people came, Maharaj. It's so much crowd was there. So much crowd was there. And people were happy to see Jagannath out there.
You're small devotees, right? You brought your small devotees?
The big one.
Okay, so let's see. Do we have any more hands?
Yes. Maharaj, we have some, thank you so much for the wonderful session. We have some comments on the computer. And here is Mrishringa Lila Mataji saying, Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. You mentioned that Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. There is a beautiful comment of Srila Prabhupada from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse 13, where he says, although the battle of Kurukshetra was almost finished, still, according to his vow, he should not have taken up his own weapon. But the emergency was more important than the vow. He is better known as Bhaktavatsala, or the lover of his devotee, and thus he preferred to continue as Bhaktavatsala than to be a worldly moralist who never breaks his solemn vow. Could you please share some thoughts to deepen our understanding?
That's the pastime that illustrates his title as Bhaktavatsal. And it's all centered around Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev wanted to fight with Krishna. And so he arranged that. So Krishna reciprocated by fighting with Bhishma Dev. And he fought in a very angry mood too. Krishna was angry. But Bhishma Dev loved every minute of it. It says it's compared to two lovers who are in a loving embrace. The fight between Krishna and Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev was so happy that Krishna actually came and started a fight with him. That was his heartfelt desire. Yeah, so that's Krishna, Bhaktavatsal. So we have to understand also he's not Karma Vatsal or Jnana Vatsal or Yoga Vatsal. He's Bhaktavatsal. Parijata, where are you driving to?
Grazie mille, Maharaj. Okay.
Huh?
Please accept my humble obeisance of glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, I wanted to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. I wanted to just add something. You did mention about the Yamadutas, and they exist. And there have been incidents where people did get to see them, and even today there are some examples. There are some examples. Well, excuse me, Maharaj, I was in the car. So there are some examples where people have been caught by these Yamadutas, horrible looking entities. I would like to mention here that I've already met one person who was in coma. Something happened to him. He was in coma and declared dead for like a few minutes. And he said that when he was in that deep state, two horrible looking, about 12 feet tall men came, and they were dragging him. And they were dragging him through all these places like fields, desert, hot roads. And when he was complaining about his feet burning, so they asked him, did you give any shoes to anyone for charity? He said, no. He said, okay, so this is your karma. So again, there was this dark place where they were dragging him through. And he asked, I need light. So he said, did you do the Deepadan? Did you offer lamp to Lord? So he said, no. They said, okay, keep going. So like this, he told all these things to me. And later he said that when they were doing my accounts of my karma, they said, okay, there's still some time left. You have been brought here so that you can tell this story to people. So somebody pushed him and he was back in his body. And since then, this man had been doing a lot of charity work. He became religious. He started doing bhakti in his own way. He goes to Vrindavan, to Banke Bihar, So yeah, he got attached to Lord Krishna. And there are some things which he said that these are not to be told to anyone. And there were some things that maybe Chitragupa up there or somebody up there told him, but he refuses to share them. And he says that I have been given some instructions. I can't tell this to anyone, but whatever wealth, he was a filthy rich person, Maharaj, and he kind of started giving in charity, and he helped people. And I think he also helps a lot of people in Braj, and using that wealth for good purposes. And 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 uh, and this I think this was like 12 years ago when he told me all this. And yes, and when you mentioned about the Yamadutas and the chanting of Lord's name, because he's actually chanting, which mantra he's chanting, I don't know, but he's chanting about Lord Krishna, maybe Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya or something. So yes, there was this instruction, a very, very important instruction. I think it was about chanting. So that if you don't want to see us, I think it was like he wanted to say that these men were saying, if you don't want to see us again, just chant. So before this man had this incident, this accident, he was a miser. He was a non-vegetarian. He was, he was somebody that you don't want to be friends with. This is what people say. But now there has been a massive transformation. I think I am not in touch with him. I met him only once, but I think now this man, I think, lives in Vrindavan or maybe some other place. But we should take it very, very seriously. What you just said, that Lord has many names, and the example of Ajamil, there are so many Ajamils walking around us, Maharaj. But the problem is there are many people who go through this event. There are many, many Christians. There are many, I don't know about Muslims, but yeah, I did hear from a lot of Buddhists, a lot of Christians, that they do go through this experience. But most of them become magnanimous in context with the charity. They become like social workers. They don't chant. They don't, focus on the spiritual upliftment. Rather, they become altruistic kind of people. So since we're here discussing amidst the devotees, I would only want to say that take it very seriously. Take it really seriously, because these things do exist. These people do exist. And whatever karma we are doing, we have to chant sincerely, first of all, and be watchful of our actions, and be sincere to the guru, and be careful of our behavior towards each other and towards every living entity, because everything is being noted. It's being recorded in his CCTV camera. There's a giant CCTV camera in the sky who's watching over us, and it is a pretty serious business. So bhakti is a serious business. It's just not some time pass. It's just not something that you do for relaxation of your mind or your body or to feel good. But then this is actually something that we need to be very, very careful and serious about. So this is what I wanted to say, Maharaj.
I just want to add that there's one lady I met. She had 7 near-death experiences. In other words, she went to, she died, went into these long tunnels, saw these different men covered with black, and then somehow or other and 3 of the experiences she had was at childbirth, where it's very difficult at childbirth, where the pain of delivering a child, only women can understand this, and maybe even men, was so much that she actually lost. But because it wasn't her time, she came back.
Okay.
She wrote a book. And one other small incident, there was one devotee. His father was, we call him a macho, tough guy, hunter, and he had many guns. So he was sick, and then sickness increased, and he actually started to die. So when he was dying, and he saw the Yamadutas coming, and he called out for his wife, "Bring my gun. Bring my gun." He thought he was Yamadutas. Yeah, so yeah, and I have been with devotees who have been in hospitals where other people have, when at time of death, they're just screaming and crying, and they see these persons, and these guys are real.
Yes, Maharaj.
But
Yes, that.
Yamaraj says, you'll never see my servants if you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and become devotional service.
Yes. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Mataji, Prabhuji, Maharaj, one devotee in Delhi 2 years back in Corona time, she got a heart attack and she was a disciple of Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and she was taken to Yamalok and she was brought near Vaitarani, and they told her that you're done a lot of sinful act. But she said, I'm chanting 16 rounds. How can I come to Yamalok? Immediately when Mataji came and told with the white dress, she told, my name is Sadhu Sangha. You never went for any Sadhu Sangha. That's why I've been brought here. You came once in somewhere in Noida, some Sadhu Sangha, but you slept. Your Guru Maharaj gave lecture, you slept. So now I'm going to take your body back to your place. Your body is still not buried, not burned, still in there, because there is Corona, there's a lot of queue was there. So she was brought back and she gave an interview. That video cassette I have not got. So she's doing a lot of class now after that. Every day, 5 Zoom classes. She's somewhere in Delhi, in Chandni Chowk.
I just pray that you appear to all my disciples to wake them up, you know. Disciples, the ones that need it. There's a few that really need it.
It became a viral, that video.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. We have some...
Show your causeless message, Maharaj, to all of us, because we are begging to you for the causeless message, Maharaj, please.
Mercy has a cause.
Jai.
Haribol. There are some questions and comments on the computer, on the Jyoti Mataji. She's saying, Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances. Her questions, she has a couple of questions. She writes first. Those who are Nirakara, who don't believe in form of Krishna, then how do they offer their obeisances at the lotus feet of Krishna Bhagavan, if at all?
They think that the form of Krishna is just an imagination that is created in order for worship. But they say it's just a creation for the sake of worship, because you need form in order to worship. But they say beyond, higher than that is the Niraka. So yeah, so therefore, and personalists will do that. They'll chant and they'll also worship, but they all think that these forms and the names are just material for the sake of worship. That's their misunderstanding. Krishna's name, Krishna's form is real. But because they have this wrong understanding, they can never go anywhere. They just go down.
Her next question, she says, how will understand the reaction of Krishna after devotional services are done? So how to understand desires or expectations of Krishna with respect to our devotional services once our service is done?
There's no service is done. Service continues. There's no such thing as you reach a point where you're finished. If she's talking about when we reach perfection, then once you reach perfection, that tattva deham purna janmani naiti mameti sarjuna. Once you reach love of God, then Krishna will take you back. Pure love of God. When you cannot live in this world anymore, when you look around and you see, oh my God, my husband, my wife, my kids, my home, my computer, my car, everything. Blah. There's no taste in any of it. Then you did, because you have a higher taste, that taste is Krishna. And therefore everything else looks pale.
Right.
But that's the stage of bhakti, which is attainable through sadhu sangha and chanting the holy names.
Her last question, she says.
Then Vaishnav Seva. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the formula. Nam Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva, Jivadoya. Taste for the holy name, service to the Vaishnavas, preaching to the fallen souls. That's his whole movement centers around these three principles.
Thank you, Maharaj. She says, I think her one last question, Jyoti Mataji says, if one is taking care of health and fitness, but is focusing on serving to Lord, but how do we ensure that the care is not a sense gratification? I mean, the care for yourself. So you're taking care of your health, you're taking care of your fitness, you're doing things for yourself, but you, at the same time, you're trying to focus on the Lord, but how to make sure that the process is not lost?
Krishna gives us he says it's the middle road. Not too much, not too little.
Not too much. Balance.
Required. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, one who eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough, cannot practice the yoga system. He says one who is temperate, is eating, sleeping, working, and recreation can perform the yoga system. Temperate means moderate. So you have to find that place where maybe it's something you have to work at. You have to find how much time you want to give to take care of your personal needs. Well, you have to do that, or else the body cannot function properly, and then you'll not be able to serve nicely. So that's something you have to evaluate by your own service. Am I wasting time doing too much? Am I affecting my body if I cannot serve nicely?
Right. Yes, thank you, Maharaj. Balance is so important. Thank you.
It's absolutely necessary.
Yes.
To get an status. How's that go? Tad vigyartam eva guru vigatsche. Tad vigyartam guru eva vigatsche means that one must accept or be sheltered of Krishna's representative. That the word vigatsche, Prabhupada said, it means must. One has to. Yeah. Because one can make progress in devotional service without the guru, but only up to a certain point. And then one requires personal guidance, because material energy is so subtle and so bewildering that unless you get guidance from the spiritual master, you'll find yourself, doing the wrong things or not doing the right things. Or you may have wrong attitude. So we require, that's why guru means spiritual knowledge, practical guidance.
Thank you, Maharaj. Ilyana Mataji has a question. She's asking you, Maharaj. I found this link on Facebook group, Disciple and Friend of Candramauli Swami. Where can I still find you? How often are you on Zoom? Can I leave you my phone number to get the link to connect? Thank you so much. I need your association.
Let's see, who do we have online here that can help you? Let's see. There's, I saw Srimati. Is she still here? Srimati?
No, Maharaj, I think she left. Maybe Revati Mataji is there. She can.
Sri Devi is here.
Sri Devi, yeah. Sri Devi Mataji can contact her and take her phone number and
Yeah, so you can help her, Sri Devi.
yeah.
Sri Devi. Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay,
And
so we reached the time limit. So we have to go on to other
Yeah.
things. So I have to stop here.
Okay.
I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Of course, any of you want to go on my regular Zoom call, you're more than welcome. Just connect with Sri Devi and she'll give you the Zoom link. It's at 12 o'clock noon UK time. Most of you are from the US, so it's about 8 o'clock. No, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Yeah, Maharaj, one question in the chat, I also have the same question. Like, why you said mercy has a cause?
Mercy
it's
has a
Sri
cause.
Kakara Prabhuji asking.
Yeah.
Mercy has a cause, you can't see the cause. Really, the mercy has a cause in the form of the spiritual master. He's canvassing to bring more souls back. So if you take it, that's mercy. And therefore, it appears to be causeless, but actually, it's the mercy of the spiritual master.
But causelessly also you can give, no, Maharaj. You can give us causelessly also. If you want, you can give to all of us.
I can give you what?
Thank you. Accepted. At your notice period taken. Give for everyone,
Thank
Maharaj.
you.
Everybody's all are waiting in queue. We are all beggars.
Yeah, me too.
No, Maharaj.
Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, Amara Jivan Sade Pape Rate, Nahi Oko Lela Lesa. You know that one?
Yeah.
You know that one? You know that one? Sukara?
Yes, Maharaj. That song.
Bhakti Vinod Thakur says,
Maharaj
Amara
Jivan.
Sade Pape Rate, Nahi Oko Lela Lesa. What is
Yeah, I
it
heard
saying?
that song.
Translate that.
And my life is full of sinful activities. And
No.
he is Pamare Jivan Sare Pape. But he's telling lies because he's such a great soul. That's your humility. You are also telling lies, Maharaj. You have got mercy, you have got Prabhupada mercy with you.
He's feeling like that.
You are a pure devotee. You are a pure devotee, Maharaj. Please, He blesses all of us blessed today. That we chant nicely.
I'll tell you all the mistakes I make every day. Continue to filling me up through the devotion.
We want your blessing for the taste of chanting, Maharaj. Please, taste of chanting.
Okay, everybody together. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare
Gauranga, thank you so much. Such
Jai Gauranga.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this class, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Prabhu Maharaj Ki Jai. Guru Maharaj Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.